A long time ago, in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a king and queen whose only son was the most charming throughout the land. But, for all his wit and appeal, the prince was also arrogant and spoiled. He frequently held wonderful balls, but instead of dancing with the finest of guests, the prince would often boast of his many accomplishments or prize collections. One night, during his most extravagant party yet, the prince's godmother arrived at the palace. Angry, she wanted to know why an invitation was not sent to her home. "Alas, why would I want a wicked old witch at my festival?" said the prince loudly to his peers. "My, what a foul tongue you have," remarked the godmother. "If it's arrogance you wear with pride, then perhaps a nasty gift is in store. How about the curse of the Boule?" Then, with a flick of her wrist, the prince was transformed into a tiny mouse. In a kingdom nearby, another prince was out wandering the large castle gardens. He was the youngest of 7 brothers. As such, he was also the quietest and kindest. "Oh, my poor son," cried the mother of the queen, "why must you be so gentle? The wolves will come devour you if you're not careful." On one fine evening, the prince was playing with his golden ball, which was his favorite thing to do, and he enjoyed tossing it as high as possible in hopes that it would stay in the sky and join the stars. But, after having thrown the ball the highest it had ever reached, he couldn't stretch his arms out far enough, and the ball went bouncing into a thicket of thorns. A great sadness overcame the prince, for he thought he had lost his most prized possession. "Oh, what am I to do?" he sadly pleaded. While he was sitting, a mouse poked his head out of the grass and said, "May I be of assistance?" "I don't know," the prince replied. "Can a tiny thing like you help me? What am I to repay you with?" The mouse said, "All I wish is for the company of a friend, with the hope that he would be able to help me with a difficult problem." "Agreed," said the prince, for he thought a talking mouse would be the best of companions. With that, the mouse scurried through the bushes. He ducked under the prickly barbs and jumped over the pointy spikes. In no time he came back out with the golden ball in his mouth and dropped it on the ground. The prince thanked him with all his heart and asked how he could aid the mouse in his troubles. "The truth is, I'm actually a prince, but I was put under the curse of the Boule for my selfishness," said the mouse as he explained his circumstance. The witch had proclaimed that only with the help of a friend and the completion of 3 tasks could the prince regain his true human form. "With your scurry feet and my tender heart, I think we can do it," the prince exclaimed. And so, working together, the mouse and the prince undertook the witch's quest. First, the pair had to find a poison apple. After crossing long and far across the country, they came upon a small cottage, and sitting near a fence was a red apple. Using his strong sense of smell, the mouse could tell it was deadly. Second, the witch demanded hair the color of corn. The friends walked through a deep, dark forest until they arrived at a tower, which just so happened to have a fair maiden with long, bright yellow hair. Because of his height, the prince was able to quickly cut a chunk off before she even noticed. The last task consisted of obtaining a glass slipper. At first the princes were dumbfounded. One cannot simply find a shoe made of glass. But behold, while making their way home one night, a girl in a fancy dress ran by so quickly that she accidentally lost one of her slippers, made entirely out of glass and diamonds. With all 3 tasks completed, the mouse and the prince delivered the items to the home of the witch. But after taking the apple, hair, and slipper, she quickly slammed the door in their faces without breaking the curse. Still a mouse, both princes were disappointed and sad. "Even if I'm to stay in this animal form forever, at least we have each other," said the mouse. "I've come to care for you as a good friend, maybe even more than that." Then, without hesitation, the prince picked up the mouse and kissed him. In an instant, the mouse disappeared, and in its place stood the mouse prince. Both were happy, and the prince asked the mouse prince if he would like to be his date for his eldest brother's wedding. He gleefully agreed, and from that moment forward, they lived happily ever after.